Good morning, everyone in the United States of America. Good afternoon to those who are not, and good evening to those who are in other places. Yes, it's me, Alonda. As I told you all, I will be going live every day until there is a change. I won't be on long every day, just to give you my thought for the day based upon the things that happened from the previous day. On yesterday, please, if you know anyone who's going through immigration issues or they are concerned about immigration and how it's going to impact and affect our country, please share this with them. Follow me so you can stay up to date, as I will stay up to date with you. I want to share some respond to some comments that have been placed out there. Yesterday evening, I had the opportunity to actually speak and share my journey on the everyday life of Deputy Brian Woodard. And there were hundreds of comments, but there were some that were just the context of me going live was misunderstood. So I want to be very clear about why I am choosing to go live every day. Then also I want to talk about the differences between the three type of people. When we talk about immigration and we talk about immigrants, there are three different type of people. So I want to go ahead and talk about that first. Oftentimes we talk about illegals, we talk about immigrants, we talk about non-immigrants, undocumented. I want to just share with you a little bit about the definitions of all of them. When we talk about an immigrant, a legal immigrant is one who has documentation, who has been authorized to come, visit, tour, to stay, have a visa. They actually have the documentation that says that they are legally allowed to be in the United States of America. An illegal immigrant is one who was given that documentation, visitor's visa, whatever, and they chose to overstay the expiration of that visa. An illegal alien is one who comes across, who enters our country without any documentation, who have not been given the authorization to be in our country. So I wanted to set the tone so when we're having these conversations that we're talking accurately about the different types and the different classes of people. Now, I want to set the atmosphere straight for my purpose of going live. I am not here to point blame to anyone. As many of you know, if you have been passionate about immigration, this is not an issue that just happened. This has been happening over 20 years. So it's not fair to point the finger at anyone. Even though we have freedom of speech, we have freedom to do whatever it is that we want to do. However, that is not my purpose. The reason I call out Vice President Kamala Harris is because when she became vice president, President Joe Biden chose her and asked her to find solutions to address the issues that we deal with our immigration and our borders. So I am here seeking answers regarding my issue with my husband, which is a backlog issue, not a border issue. My issue has nothing to do with the border. Is it affected by the border? Absolutely. But it's not affected about the border of the people. It is the broken system of our country. It is the broken system because the immigration policies and processes have not been looked at thoroughly. We look at a piece of it. We cannot look at a piece of it without addressing the whole entire issue. So I am calling out Vice President Kamala Harris for answers under her current responsibilities as the Vice President of the United States of America and the appointment of President Joe Biden, who has asked her to address this, I am asking her, what will she do about the backlog? 1. 2, currently, what happened and how do we get from 60,000 in 2019 to currently 438,000 of individual backlog waiting of individuals who are waiting to be interviewed, to be granted the ability to come into our country as an immigrant. So I'm not blaming her. I'm not blaming Trump. I'm not blaming President Joe Biden when he was vice president. I am blaming the system. So anyone who has anything to do with the system, our system is broken. So if we just take a moment and step back and stop pointing fingers about what did they do, what did they not do, and start looking for how are we going to fix this? How are we going to fix this? It's not right for you to tell me that I cannot ask Vice President Kamala Harris what happened and what is she going to do when that is her current responsibility as Vice President of our country. I cannot go ask President Joe Biden when he was vice president. I cannot go ask any other vice president about something that's happening now. Think about it, people. If you're in management, if you're in supervisory, if you're in any position and you work in corporate America, when you assume that leadership and you take on that, you obtain and you acquire information, processes, backlog, documentation, whatever it is, you assume that from the previous person that was there before you. So you then become accountable and responsible for it. That is not putting blame. I am asking for answers. I am asking, what are we going to do? What will she do as president? Yes, she's addressed the border crises, but she has not addressed the backlog. How did we get here? And how are we going to move forward in fixing it? How? So it's not pointing blame. But I can't ask President Biden I can because it's under his administration, but he's not actively the vice president. So I cannot ask someone about something if they're currently not responsible for it. So I'm not pointing the finger blaming her. This is an over 20-year issue. But what I am saying is that we need to buckle down and look at immigration reform. And it's not just about a border. That's a piece of it. We have a backlog. People who have paid to our government to come into this country, to be an asset to our country as a working class individual who contributes to our taxes, who works legally. So I don't know how we are taking my conversations to pointing the finger when all I'm asking for is answers. And what are we going to do moving forward? Everyone's entitled to voice their opinion. Everyone is entitled to say what they want to say. But pointing the finger solves nothing. What are we going to do about it? So it doesn't matter to me who's sitting in that seat. What matters to me is what is our country going to do about it? When I'm talking about this issue, it is about what is our country going to do about it. We have other issues, but immigration is a huge one right now. So outside of the border, there's a backlog issue of people who have paid us. You don't want to go to the store and you don't want to go online, order groceries, pay for them, and then you have to wait 5 months to get them. So we have to improve the process of addressing the backlog issue. And just maybe, and I will continue to say this, just maybe that will fix the border issue. You know, we're saying that the border from Mexico has decreased. Absolutely it has. But other borders have increased. The Canadian border has increased. San Diego border has increased. So we can't just look at a piece of the pie. We have to look at the whole pie. But I really wanted to get on here and just clear the air and let people know I'm not pointing fingers. I want answers and I want solutions. Because as you view my previous, I don't want my tax dollars paying for illegal immigrants. And we're not even taking care of our citizens and our immigrants who chose to come in the legal way. We can't continue to do this, people. We can't. But pointing fingers does nothing. Does nothing. When we point fingers, it muddies the water of those who are really trying to make a difference. Do I have issues with legislators? Do I have concerns about legislators? Do I have my opinion? I do. But right now, it's not about my personal opinion. It's about what are we going to do? How do we move forward? So my ask is about how did we get here? How did we get here? And what are we going to do? Will it ever be fixed 100%? No. But if we keep ignoring the policies and the processes, then are we really looking for hardcore solutions, or are we looking for Band-Aid solutions? So please, hear my heart. I asked the person who's in charge. And right now, President Joe Biden appointed that to Vice President Kamala Harris. And so, yes, I am asking for answers. How did we get here? And what are we going to do? What do you need from us as American citizens? And then whoever becomes the president, the next president, I will have the same questions, the same ask. And whoever they appoint to handle immigration and the border issues and the backlog issues, I'll still have the same ask until we hear of solutions. So I just want to come and set the record straight for today, to share with you the differences about the 3 different classes of people that have been identified. But we can't say our country stands on "In God we trust," and that we live on the Christian system. We live by the God that our country serves, the God that our country loves, and not exemplify it to each other. We've come a long way, America, but we have a long way to go. This divisiveness doesn't help at all, does not. We all have a right to choose, a freedom to speak. That's what we love about our country. But when it comes to building and maintaining the foundation of the country, we have to stand together as one. The one who want to stand for the right of our country. And what does that look like? It's fair to say, talk about immigration. We all have concerns about what's going on with the borders, what's going on with immigration. It's fair to say, both sides do. But how do we resolve it becomes the answer. And everyone's going to have their way. Everyone's going to have the way that they think it can be done. But when will we come together and truly be the united States of America? The word united is not there just as a brand and just as something that's there, but it has meaning to it. The United States of America. And we have choices to stay here or to not stay here, to go and come back. But at the end of the day, our foundation is built on the United States of America. And we have to make sure that there's no cracks, no loopholes that break our foundation. So we have to fix it and we have to get it together. Because if we don't, our country will be in shambles. Our country will be a lost cause. Because we don't have a solid foundation. And the solid foundation is for everyone. We the people. We the people of the United States of America. So what does that look like for everyone? It depends upon where you are in your life, what's going on in your life, what's important to you, what's not important to you. But at the end of the day, the foundation of our country should not be shaken and should not be moved. So that's all I have for today, everyone. I will see you all tomorrow. Of course, if you know anyone who has a story such as mine, dealing with the backlog issue of the visa process, with the immigration visa process, they can feel free to have them reach out to me, inbox me. If you have questions for me, inbox me, reach out to me. Also, people were asking about fact checking. So what I did last night was I took the time and I went to travel.state.gov and I went to Google to share with you all the references that I had in regards to my comments that I made, in regards to statistics, in regards to the issues, in regards to me talking about the different type of classes of people who are coming illegally through the border and why they're coming. So if you want to have an opportunity, if you have an opportunity, take a chance and look at those. But however, I am one voice for many. I am one voice for the 438,000 who are waiting on an interview. And keep in mind, that's a 10-minute interview with one person. 438,000 people. I am being one voice that in hopes that other voices will join me in saying, we must do better. And we have something that we need to address. Have a good day, everyone. Be blessed. Enjoy your day. And as always, smile. You owe it to yourself. No one does it better than you. Bye for now.